Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Wow, what a conference and what an audience. My role and my wish at the end of the conference is basically to say thank you. I think after such a diverse conference, diverse with regard to the topics we discussed, but also diverse with regard to the people who are here, it makes no sense to repeat all the content or try to wrap it up. My role and my wish is to close this conference with a big, big thank you. Actually, with many big, big thank you. The first big thank you goes to all of you for coming, for attending this conference, for discussing, for participating. It goes to all the Ukrainians who are here despite the burden of war and all the hardship that comes with the war is on your shoulders. You came and you spent 2 days with us here discussing all kinds of security topics about Ukraine and beyond. And another big thank you goes to all foreign guests who came. And I know it's not easy to convince your families or your companies to allow you a trip to Ukraine, to a country that is at war, and to overcome all the hurdles from flying to another country, taking a transfer, from convincing security companies and security people in your environment to allow you to go there. Many of you made it, and thank you, because you allowed us to discuss and to connect between Ukrainians and foreigners. I'm especially happy that many American guests came in the current situation we have. I think we achieved something through dialogue alone. I'm proud and happy to welcome all of you and to have been able to talk to all of you here. Another big thank you goes to our fellow partners, sponsors, and supporters of this conference. I remember discussing with some of you content of the conference, how to do the panels, which content to focus on, and it has always been in the spirit of jointly making this conference a success, and I think we really made it a success. So I'm happy and proud to have worked with you on preparing and supporting this conference. The next big thank you goes to all our teams, all our colleagues at Black Sea Security Forum, at all the service providers who worked here, and at all the partners, sponsors and supporting organizations. Without you, the unknown soldiers behind the stage, all this would not have been possible. Without your determination and your energy, day and night, this would not have been possible. And I would like especially to mention the two marinas, one in my team and one in Black Sea Security Forum team, and thank both of you for your outstanding work. And I think they deserve, all of them deserve a big applause of all of us now here. Next big thank you goes to Oleksii. It goes to Oleksii Goncharenko. I don't know how this guy finds all the energy to be an MP, to organize this conference, to do many other things at the same time. Maybe you can tell me one time how you do it, and I'm really looking forward to get the recipe. Oleksii, I would like not only to thank you for the good cooperation, this is the usual phrase, I would also like to thank you for your energy and for your trust and for your friendship. I'm proud and happy to work with you. And the last big thank you goes to Odessa, to this city, this vibrant place, this cosmopolitan place, this global place, and this strong place. I think Odessa has shown all of us during the last 2 days that Ukraine is much more than a war country. It has also shown us that it is a war country, not only due to the air alerts we all experienced, but also due to the situation we saw, for example, in the port. But it has also shown us the potential of Ukraine and the fact that Ukraine is much more than war, and that the fact that Ukraine would look towards a very, very positive future if this war will be ended in a just and positive way. So I would like again to thank you for coming, and I would like to finish with a big Slava Ukraini. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tom. Our big thank goes to you. Thank you so much, Thomas Birringer, and of course the Konrad-Adenauer Foundation. Now I'd like to ask for your applause and please welcome Markus Wiechel, Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors, Hepatica Foundation, Chairman of the Swedish Delegation to the Council of Europe Parliamentary Assembly.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, friends and colleagues, and of course, heroes of Ukraine. My name is Markus Wiechel, and I have the honor of serving as Vice Chairman of the Hepatica Foundation. And for the second year in a row, we are proud to be sponsors of the Black Sea Security Forum. And once again, it has been more than worth every effort. This conference has been an outstanding success, I must say. Well organized, intellectually sharp, and deeply necessary. Over these past days, we have not engaged in empty diplomacy or polite small talk. We have instead had honest and truthful discussions about the real situation in Ukraine and the entire Black Sea region. We have heard clear-eyed analysis from leading experts, decisive words from politicians, and passionate voices from civil society. It has been a privilege to be here together with each and every one of you. And dear friends, let me say it once more because it cannot be repeated enough. Ukraine is not fighting only for its own survival. Ukraine is fighting for the security and freedom of all of us in the free world. And we cannot thank you enough for this. When Russia launched its 2022 invasion, many in the West expected a quick victory for the aggressor. And they were wrong. The Ukrainian people, with their extraordinary courage and determination, have now resisted a much larger enemy for more than 3 years. They have defended every meter of their land with an unbreakable will. This is not just a war between two countries. This is a struggle between barbarianism and civilization, between tyranny and freedom, and between a world based on rules and a world based on brute force. That is why Ukraine's fight deserves not only our admiration, but also our full, unconditional, and sustained support until victory is achieved. I am particularly proud that my own country, Sweden, just days ago decided to donate 16 Gripen fighter jets to Ukraine. This is a concrete high-value contribution that will strengthen Ukraine and give the Ukrainian armed forces additional tools in order to push back the occupiers and protect their cities and the people. The Black Sea is not only a strategically vital, it's existential. Control over these waters decides shipping routes, energy security, and global food prices. And here, right on the shores of this sea, lies one of Europe's true gems, the beautiful city of Odessa. It is truly a joy and a privilege to visit Odessa, a city that represents culture, history, and the soul of a free Ukraine. To see its resilience is also something that strengthens our vision and to make it easier and of course to make it clear to stand together with her. A strong and sovereign Ukraine is the best guarantee for peace and stability in our part of Europe. Also, a defeated or weakened Ukraine would send a dangerous signal to every aggressor in the world that force pays off. As a member of the Swedish Parliament, it is of utmost importance for me to prioritize support for Ukraine, both in my daily parliamentary work and in the international forums that I participate in, not least in the Council of Europe, where I have the honor of serving as chairman of the Swedish delegation. I will continue to push the Ukrainian agenda with full force in Strasbourg and in every other arena where Sweden's voice matters. Words of sympathy are no longer enough. Ukraine needs reliable, long-term security guarantees, modern weapons without artificial restrictions, and a clear and fast track towards even closer integration with the West. I urge every one of you here today, whether you are a politician, a journalist, a business leader, officer or activist, to turn the ideas and energy from this forum into real concrete action. History will judge us not how much we spoke, but how much we actually did. The Hepatica Foundation will continue to make our support for Ukraine one of our absolutely top priorities. We will not tire and we will not waver. This is why we opened our first foreign office in Kyiv earlier this year. We believe it is very important to be physically present here in Ukraine. So to all our Ukrainian friends here today, thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing your experiences and your unbreakable hope. We see the attacks on your cities and the destruction of your energy infrastructure and the attempts to erase your identity, and these crimes must not be accepted. They must be confronted and they must be defeated. Ukraine does not stand alone, and with all of us working together, Ukraine will never stand alone. So, Slava Ukraini. And last but not least, thank you all for coming here, and thank you, Oleksii, for everything here. It's a true privilege and pleasure to work together with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Markus. And thank you, Hepatica. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the closing remarks from Oleksii Goncharenko. Please welcome.
Dear friends, distinguished guests, during these days in Odessa, we were answering almost Shakespearean question: to be or not to be a great power or not to be, whether it's noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles and by opposing end them. We here in Ukraine, we gave our answer when we took arms in our hands, stopped aggressor, fighting for this sea, fighting for this land, fighting for Europe. But really the question is, do we need to be a great power? Or maybe countries and nations should live quietly, modestly, trying to avoid confrontation, trying to not to have big ambitions, just waiting that they can live this easy, silent, modest life. Unfortunately, what we see now, that if you are not shaping the world will shape you. And unfortunately, it can be done in a violent way. We tried in Ukraine to live modest life for 30 years. We tried not to have big ambitions, hoping that we will just live our best life, not being a superpower, great power, regional power. And unfortunately, this experiment failed. You see where we are now. So I think the answer is clear. You need to be strong to survive. You need to be strong enough to change the world in a right direction. Oh, it will be changed by somebody else in a wrong direction. That is something we all understand. And that's why we here in Europe, in Odessa, in Ukraine, in Europe, we want to see Europe as a great power. And really Europe has everything for this. People, technologies, economics, money, everything except probably one thing: decisiveness. Decision to be a great power. But I believe that Europe will be a great power. And together with other nations, democratic nations, we will protect this world and will make this world better. Title of our forum this year is End Game with a question mark. No. No in Ukraine, no in Odessa, no in Black Sea, the game will never end. So we are closing and successfully closing Black Sea Security Forum 2026. And I want to announce and to invite you for Black Sea Security Forum 2027, when we will continue to work together to make this world better, because I think we don't have any other option. Thank you very much and welcome back to Odessa, to Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!
Oleksii Goncharenko.